Beloved friends, I stand before you with a truth so simple, yet so profound, that it can transform the very course of your life. Life, as Florence Scovel Shinn taught, is a game of giving and receiving, a game where words are the tools, and faith is the key. The invisible substance of the universe responds not to pleading, nor to fear, but to the certainty of spoken word charged with belief. When a man or woman understands this, the struggle ends, and supply begins to flow in divine order. The spoken word is the most powerful tool given to man, for it carries within it the seed of creation. Every word uttered is like a command sent into the invisible, and the universe, which is but a mirror of our innermost beliefs, hastens to obey. Florence Scovel Shinn always reminded her students that words are not idle sounds. They are living forces, clothed with vibration and energy, and they set in motion the very circumstances of our lives. When one says, "I can't," life answers back with limitation. When one says, "I can and I will," unseen doors begin to swing open. This is the law, eternal and unchanging, that the word spoken with faith becomes flesh. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Consider the gardener planting seeds. Each seed, no matter how small, carries the pattern of the tree or flower it will one day become. The gardener does not doubt the process. He trusts that what he plants will grow in its season. So it is with the words we plant in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind. Every declaration is a seed, and the harvest will come unfailingly. The spoken word of fear will bear fruit in trouble and delay, while the spoken word of faith produces abundance, health, and success. One who understands this becomes careful of speech, refusing to give voice to lack, sickness, or failure, and instead choosing words of power and prosperity. The spoken word is a bridge between the invisible and the visible. Thoughts may flicker like shadows across the mind, but when they are clothed in language and spoken aloud, they gain substance, power, and direction. To speak is to summon, and to summon is to command the unseen forces of life. A person who continually affirms wealth, happiness, and victory is not engaging in vain repetition, but is programming the very law of life to align with their declaration. Just as a captain steers his ship by giving clear instructions, so too do we guide our destiny by the words we speak daily. Yet the secret is not in idle speech, but in words charged with faith and conviction. Empty words spoken without belief carry little weight, but words filled with expectancy vibrate with creative energy. When one declares, "I am rich in divine supply," and believes it with the heart, the law of attraction begins to magnetize circumstances, people, and opportunities to make it so. Even if appearances seem contrary, persistence in affirming the truth will break down the old conditions and build the new. For words spoken consistently are like drops of water that wear away stone. They transform the unseen substance until reality must conform. To guard the tongue, then, is to guard one's destiny. Speak only what you desire to see made manifest. Refuse to give power to negativity, and instead choose words that uplift, heal, and prosper. For the spoken word is law, and what you decree with faith and gratitude must appear in divine order in your world. There is a secret sentence that holds the power to open the floodgates of abundance, a declaration so simple yet so mighty that it aligns the soul with infinite riches. When one says with conviction, "I am one with the infinite riches of the universe," and large sums of money come to me quickly, under grace, in perfect ways, a great shift occurs in the unseen. The words themselves are keys that unlock hidden doors. They remind the mind of its unity with the divine supply, a supply that never runs dry. The universe is abundant, overflowing with wealth, ideas, opportunities, and treasures, yet it awaits the command of man's word to release its bounty. The strength of this affirmation lies not only in its words, but in the consciousness behind them. To say, "I am one with the infinite riches of the universe," is to acknowledge that lack is but an illusion, and that wealth is not outside of us, but already within. We are not separate from the source of supply, for we live and move in an ocean of abundance. Just as a wave is one with the sea, so are we one with the boundless riches of life. When we affirm this truth, we dissolve the false sense of separation and claim our rightful inheritance as children of the infinite. The phrase, "large sums of money come to me quickly," directs the law with clarity. Many pray vaguely, asking for just enough, or for a little help, and the law answers them in kind with small results. But when we boldly declare large sums, we show faith in God's limitless power. We do not limit the divine with small thinking, but open ourselves to greater blessings. Quickness, too, is important, for it denies the slow delays of human reasoning and affirms that supply is not bound by time. What appears delayed in the visible is already present in the invisible, awaiting only the word of command to manifest. Equally vital are the words under grace, in perfect ways. They are the safeguard of this affirmation, ensuring that money and abundance flow in harmony, without harm, struggle, or injustice. The universe works in perfect order, and when we affirm supply under grace, we align with divine timing and channels that bring blessings not only to us, but to others as well. One may find money appearing through unexpected business opportunities, gifts, refunds, or creative ideas. Each channel unfolds in a way that brings joy and peace rather than worry or burden. When spoken daily, with unwavering faith and gratitude, this sentence becomes a golden thread that weaves prosperity into every aspect of life. It strengthens confidence, erases fear, and draws opportunities like a magnet. Soon the outer world begins to reflect the truth that has been declared within. The pockets may fill, the bank account may grow, and unexpected channels of supply open, but above all, the heart awakens to the joy of knowing it is one with infinite abundance. Faith is the golden key that unlocks the storehouse of the universe, while fear is the shadow that bars the door. A man may speak the right words, yet if his heart trembles with worry and doubt, he delays the manifestation of his good. To declare abundance while secretly fearing lack is like planting seeds in stony ground. The roots cannot take hold, and the harvest cannot come forth. The law of life responds not to begging or anxious pleading, but to the firm vibration of faith, the calm assurance that what is spoken will come to pass. Begging implies separation, as though one were far from the source of supply and must struggle to obtain it. But faith knows oneness, that abundance is already given, and it speaks as one who claims an inheritance rather than as a beggar seeking crumbs. Fear is a powerful magnet, just as faith is. When a man continually says, "I am afraid I shall not have enough," he sets in motion currents that draw lack, delay, and limitation. The very thing he dreads hastens toward him because he has given it life through fearful words. Yet when he declares with unwavering confidence, "All that is mine by divine right now comes to me with speed and in perfect ways," he dissolves the shadow of fear and allows the light of abundance to shine. The two cannot dwell together. Where faith enters, fear departs. Faith is not blind hoping, nor is it wishful thinking. It is a deep inner knowing that what is unseen is even now preparing to appear. A farmer does not plant seeds and then worry daily whether they will grow. He trusts the law of nature, waters the ground, and waits with expectancy. So too must we speak our word and trust the divine law, refusing to dig up the soil with worry. Many undo their good by alternating between faith and fear, affirming abundance one moment and then confessing lack the next. The universe, which mirrors the state of the heart, cannot deliver clear results when the command is divided. To overcome fear, one must persist in the spoken word of faith. Each time fear whispers, "What if it doesn't come?" the answer must be, "It is already mine, under grace and in perfect ways." Repetition builds conviction, and conviction drives out doubt. Even the smallest mustard seed of faith, spoken with authority, has the power to move mountains of difficulty. Life bends to the command of the one who refuses to yield to fear and chooses instead to stand firm in truth. When faith reigns, the atmosphere changes. Opportunities appear where none were seen before. Money flows from unexpected channels. Helpers arise at the perfect moment. The entire universe seems to conspire for the good of the one who trusts. This is the law. Fear binds, faith liberates. To choose faith over fear is to choose abundance over lack, joy over sorrow, and certainty over confusion. It is to live as a master of life, not a victim of circumstance, for the word spoken in faith is the word that manifests. Money and supply do not come from one channel alone, nor are they bound to the narrow paths the human mind imagines. They flow through countless ways, guided by divine intelligence, which always selects the perfect channels for each individual. When one declares abundance, it is not for him to dictate how or from where it should arrive, but only to know with certainty that it will arrive in divine order. Too often, people limit their good by fastening their eyes on a single source, perhaps an employer, a business deal, or a relative, and they say within themselves, "My supply must come from here." In doing so, they close the door to the infinite, for God may have 1,000 ways to deliver the blessing. The universe is abundant beyond comprehension, and to cling to one channel is to deny the limitless creativity of spirit. When a person affirms, "Large sums of money come to me quickly, under grace, in perfect ways," he releases the need to control the method of manifestation. His task is to speak the word, to believe, and to remain open. The law then moves in silence, arranging circumstances, shifting events, and preparing channels unknown to the conscious mind. It may be that money comes through a business opportunity, a long, forgotten debt repaid, a sudden promotion, or even a gift that arrives unexpectedly. Sometimes it comes through ideas that unfold into profitable ventures. At other times, it may arrive through what appears as coincidence, yet is truly divine orchestration. The secret lies in trust. The human mind often demands to see the path before taking a step, but faith is walking forward knowing that the path will appear. To worry over the how is to place oneself in limitation, but to release the how to divine intelligence is to stand in freedom. One who lives by this truth can watch with wonder as channels open in directions never considered possible. The universe delights in surprising the faithful, showing that supply is not confined to one direction, but is as infinite as the stars in the sky. It is also true that old channels may close when new ones are being prepared. Many panic when a source of income ends, yet this may be the very sign that a greater and more abundant channel is opening. To cling in fear is to delay the new, but to release with trust is to hasten the unfolding of something far better. Divine order never fails, and what is removed is always replaced with something greater when one stands in faith. Therefore, let no man say, "My good must come through this door or not at all." Instead, affirm daily that divine intelligence now opens the right channels, easily and effortlessly, under grace and in perfect ways. Then watch with gratitude as opportunities appear, often from directions unimagined. For money and blessings are not limited. They flow as rivers guided by the unseen hand of God, always finding their way to the one who speaks the word with faith. Gratitude is the golden magnet that draws abundance closer with every thankful word. When the heart overflows with appreciation, even for the smallest blessings, the universe rushes to bring more. Many fail in manifesting wealth because they overlook the power of thanksgiving. They declare their affirmations, yet their minds dwell on what they lack. They complain of delays, they grumble over small gains, and in doing so they shut the very door to abundance. But the one who gives thanks for every coin, for every opportunity, for every sign of progress, is the one who multiplies his blessings. Gratitude says to the universe, "I recognize my good, and I welcome more," and the law responds by pouring out greater riches. To awaken in the morning with a grateful heart is to set the tone of the entire day. A man who rises and declares, "I am thankful for the divine supply already flowing into my life," has aligned himself with the current of prosperity before a single hour has passed. He meets the day with expectation, and the universe, which mirrors his consciousness, delivers experiences to match his gratitude. Even when appearances seem meager, the thankful soul finds something to praise. A simple meal, a friendly smile, a small payment, all become tokens of divine abundance. By magnifying the little with gratitude, he calls forth the greater. Consider the one who despises small beginnings. He receives a modest opportunity and scorns it, saying, "This is too small for me." Such an attitude closes the channel, for the universe will not entrust greater riches to one who does not appreciate the lesser. But the grateful man receives even the smallest sum with joy, blessing it and declaring, "This is the beginning of larger sums that flow to me under grace." His attitude of appreciation turns a trickle into a stream, and a stream into a river. Gratitude is the proof of faith, for to thank in advance is to affirm that the good is already secured. Gratitude also transforms the mind from fear to trust. A fearful heart frets about what may not come, but a grateful heart rejoices in what is already given and confidently expects more. The two cannot dwell together. Fear withers when thanksgiving rises. One who continually thanks God for supply is not troubled by appearances, for he knows that each blessing, however small, is evidence of the greater good on its way. Therefore, let the words "thank you" become a constant refrain, not spoken lightly but with deep feeling. Give thanks for the money already in your hands, for the opportunities at your door, and for the unseen riches moving toward you even now. When bills are paid, give thanks. When unexpected money arrives, give thanks. When new ideas appear, give thanks. The universe delights in a thankful soul, for gratitude is faith in action. And as faith grows, so does abundance, until life itself becomes a continual overflow of blessings, each one multiplied by the power of a grateful heart. Abundance is not something distant, nor is it a prize to be earned after struggle and striving. It is the divine birthright of every soul, given at the moment of creation. The universe holds nothing back. It withholds no good thing. Yet man, through fear, doubt, and false belief, builds walls of separation between himself and his supply. He imagines that wealth belongs to others, that opportunities are scarce, or that success must come only through toil and hardship. These illusions bind him in chains of limitation. But when he awakens to the truth that abundance is already his by divine right, the chains fall away and he walks in freedom. Wealth then ceases to be something chased outside and instead flows naturally from within. The law of life is giving and receiving. Just as the sun shines without ceasing, so too does divine supply pour forth. No man can exhaust it, for it is infinite. To believe in lack is to believe in a lie. The ocean of abundance cannot run dry any more than the stars can cease to shine. Each soul has a rightful place in this ocean, and when he claims it, the tide rises to meet him. To affirm daily, "I have abundance by divine right, and it now manifests under grace," is to remind the subconscious of the eternal truth. What is claimed in faith must appear, for the law knows no denial. When one regards abundance as a divine right, he ceases to live as a beggar and begins to live as an heir. He no longer pleads, "If only I could have enough," but declares, "All that is mine by divine inheritance now comes to me in perfect ways." Such a shift of consciousness transforms his world. Doors open where before there were walls. People and opportunities appear as if by magic. But it is not magic. It is the natural law responding to the rightful claim of one who knows his truth. This understanding also removes envy and jealousy, for the one who knows his supply is secure has no need to covet another's. He rejoices in the prosperity of others, knowing that their success does not diminish his own. The riches of the universe are infinite, and what one receives does not lessen the portion of another. This spirit of rejoicing further multiplies his own blessings, for he is in harmony with the law of increase. To live with the knowledge that abundance is your divine right is to walk in peace, free from worry and struggle. It is to rest in the assurance that whatever is needed, be it money, opportunities, or ideas, will come at the right time and in the right way. It is to live as a child of the infinite, confident that the Father's house has many mansions and that your place in it is secure. Speak it, believe it, and act upon it. Abundance is your divine right, and it is now manifesting in your life.